Greetings, card fighters, and welcome to Premium 101, an introduction to Cardfight Vanguard's premium format. I'm Devlin Cassidy, aka The Scholar, and I'm here to help you start your premium format journey in the game of Cardfight Vanguard. I hope that this starter's guide for today's clan is very beneficial in having you figure out what deck you want to pick up when you decide to play premium. I hope that you find this video very informational and helpful, and hopefully have you start on your premium journey. We're going to start now into Stargate, and we're going to be talking about Justice. This is Dimensional Police, more specifically the Super Dimensional Robo archetype, which I really only think is the true playable deck inside Premium, unfortunately, for D-Robo. But it's very defensive, and if you like really tanky decks, this is the deck for you. Talk about a deck that has caused me a lot of headaches in terms of guarding because of what it can do. This is my good friend Anderson Williams list that got top 8 at BCS New York this past season. Very proud of him, but we're going to dive straight in. So this is a deck all about grade 3s. So if you want to embrace your inner Morikawa from the original series, go right ahead. All of your grade 3 units get plus 10,000 shield when you are on Dieliner. This sets the whole entire standard from the deck because you have a Stride and Geoma Glass that when it's face up in the G zone, all of your grade 3 rear guards get intercept and plus 5000k power and 5000k shield. That's also active on your opponent's turn with the power gain. So, as you can see, we love getting shield value in this deck. Your grade 3s on average are going to be about like 25k shield for most of the game. And that's just very, very beneficial. You also have very cool control lanes inside the deck, such as Taser Blades of when your opponent's rear guard is placed other than from hand, you get to rest that unit. So if it's called from like deck, soul, drop, if you don't want it like immediately doing something, you get to rest it. Boom, just like that. What are some other things to highlight? 4B Surrogate made this deck absolutely insane. Being able to grab like Taser Blades or Dizoris is really good because Dizoris gives you an additional drive check if your Vanguard is 35k or greater. And just being able to get that 10k in a drive is really strong. You also have access to a grade 2 with Gel Sludge. Just being able to get some free value out of there. It's the Soul Blast 1. Your opponent may counterblast if they did not, you draw a card. If your opponent Soul Blast if they did not, their Vanguard gets neg 5k. But the thing with D-Robo is that these numbers can get exponentially large. We're going to first talk about the OG Stride with X-Gallop. X-Gallop has the burst ability, which matters for a very particular card in this deck. If counterblast 1, you choose a face down card in your G zone, you flip it face up. When X-Gallop attacks, you get, and its power is 40,000 or greater. You may pay the cost if you do this unit gets drive +1 at the end of the battle. That unit's power is 80k or greater. You get to stand it, and it gets drive -4. And at GB3, it gets plus 10k for each face up card in your G zone. So if you short in Geoma Glass, it's going to get a free 20 and meet that threshold to get an additional drive check. However, there's ways you can abuse that by giving Dizoris more power. Arm is going to check if your opponent's been farming a lot of cards. It's going to punish them for it because it's going to give you all of your front row units plus 30,000 power. So you can hit this threshold really easily, or with Commander Laurel being able to double the power and give a crit to D-Robo. So all of these cards really work well with Force 2. You can choke your opponent out at very low damage because you can threaten like 3 crit and then be like, oh, if I hit a crit on my drive checks, I win. But the other cool thing is that it can get really powerful on its own. Cosmo Winger Unibird Galaxy is crazy. This gets plus 10k for each card in your damage zone and your rear guards. That's wild. The fact that this can just get a free 100k because you have 5 on board and 5 in damage is stupid. And when it attacks, you get to turn a card face up from your G zone. If it's 50k or greater at the end until the end of that battle, it gets plus 2 crit. And then if it's 100,000 or greater, you get plus 2 drive. So this is going to be 5 drive checks if you hit double Dizoris. You can hit up to like 7 drive checks. It's really, really free. But Devlin, can't you just stop all these big number attacks with a perfect guard? But that's what you think. Linka's coming for you. Linka is a burst ability GB to put this unit into your soul. If your Vanguard is 20,000 or greater, you get to draw a card. If it is 35k or greater, it gains this following effect. But the Vanguard has to have the burst ability. So it's either only applicable on Unibird Galaxy or X-Gallop. And that is Soul Blast 1. When your drive check reveals a grade 3, you get to choose one of your opponent's sentinels and nullify the guard, and that unit nullifies the cannot be hit effect. It is super powerful to be able to just say drive take a grade 3 and break a sentinel. Really hard to do. You have to guard really awkwardly against this deck, and Elementaria is the only thing that saves you in some of those cases because they can't break it. It doesn't go to the Guardian Circle. But this is wild, and the Brant over trigger in this deck is crazy. They'd be like, hey, yeah, my Vanguard has 4 crit, and now it has 8 and 200 million. With the Sentinel break and it breaks through, you're dead. It's just how it is, and this deck is just so good at doing that. This deck is very tanky. It doesn't care about its rear guards. It has phenomenal matchups into like the bugs matchup and other things. It just does not care. Gets a lot of good value out of its cards, and it's just overall a very phenomenal clan and very easy to learn and to play. It's just expensive because of this Geoma Glass price tag. This card is so good at what it does, is being able to increase your shield and do so much more. But this G-Guard is phenomenal too. You get to resurrect grade 3s from your drop zone that are normal units, and you get 5,000 shield for each card put into your hand, which is more shield in tandem with how this whole entire deck goes. It also has pseudo perfect guards for if a attack swings at you is 25k or less, which is most of the time in the Mega Colony matchup. This card is really good against because Mega Colony's numbers don't get that big. This is a Soul Last One, kill it, and then it gets the Sentinel, you cannot get hit effect. So I couldn't ask for any more, and that's gonna do it really for D Police here, baby. And there you have it. Hopefully some of the deck ideas found here in this clan were very, very beneficial for you all, and so that way you guys can start your premium journey. If not, feel free to check out the other starters guides on this channel if you kind of have a rough idea of what clans you're looking into, or there's the entire video of where all of this was broken up from that you guys can feel free to put on the background and listen to as you guys can watch me ramble about decks. But I hope that this was very beneficial and that you guys continue along with me. Hopefully see you in the next lesson, and until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all later.